Hi there. Hello, who's in here? Say hi. Say hi, say hi, say hi. You see my topic? What do you guys think? Hello, Joseph. How are you doing? God bless you. Did I say step two? Um, Plan B. Yeah, I chose step two because step one, in my opinion, is you custodying your crypto by yourself. I don't think anything as good as that, right? We live in times where people, I mean, so there's some conversation going on. If you look at my description, I'm here briefly because I'm working. I'm just taking my lunch break to jump on here and talk to you guys while I have some coffee. You know, so basically, there's some conversation that's beginning to rise, and I think it's going to increase. I think I'll do a proper video on it, or should I say a long form video on it. There is a conversation happening right now. In my description, if you check, you will see it there. And the conversation is that brokers is the way to go. And in my opinion, I feel it's sponsored conversation. I honestly feel so. I have a link to Caleb and Brown, right? To a broker, and I have referred people. And the truth is that when you refer people, you get a little bit of commission. It's not a lot, it's just a tiny bit of coffee money. But that's when they sell. But here's the reality. Well, if it goes if they it's like you get some trading fee, right? So but the reality of it is that even though I know that that's a possibility, that's not my first go-to. My go-to is the private custody, because not your keys, not your crypto. How they used to say garbage in, garbage out from computers in those days, in the late 80s and early 90s, is true. Whatever you put in is what you get out, right? So for computers, it's true. It's a statement. It's a maxim. It's a statement of truth. Excuse me. In the same way, we have the statement, not your keys, not your cryptos, and I believe it 100%. Please like the video, get the likes up, because when you like it, the algorithm tells people we're here. It's during the day. I haven't been able to do the nighttime lives, so I just jump on here for briefly. If you're just jumping in, thank you so much for coming. If you have not bought my book, I want to encourage you to buy it. That's the my book on crypto. It's a basic book for anybody who wants to get into crypto. And those of you who are already in, you can support the channel by buying a copy, or you can buy a copy and just share it with your family. That the people that you are trying to talk to and they are resisting. I'm trying to work out why so many influencers are trying to direct us to Caleb and Brown. So I direct people to Caleb and Brown. Okay. And I'll tell you the reason why they're doing it. The main reason why is that number one, they have done it themselves. Number two, um, there's benefit to doing it. Number three, and let me say a bit more about benefit. One of the benefits is, if in the season of a very tight market, which will happen in a a lot of people still have their experiences from previous bull runs, and they're expecting the bull run to be somewhere within a 3 to 6 months. Some people are saying it's going to be a super cycle, and so people are expecting to see spikes that are God candles in different cryptos that they have been holding for a while. So their approach is, I will sell and get out, right? And so here's the problem. In a very tight system, what happens? A very tight market, there is so much liquidity to go around. And so when an exchange, let's say you're on an exchange, there's an exchange that I have, I don't use it much, that I'm on. It's called Coinex. It's a small exchange. Please like the video to 5. There's 5 people here. So it says, hey, Chris, how are you doing? God bless you and your family too, Chris Yarwood. So there's a small window of time, and people want to get out quickly because remember, human nature. It's like, man, I don't know when if this thing will, you have a crypto that is $1, now it's $16, right? And it's too good to be true. And you have 2,000 units of that crypto. That's 32K. That would pay off a car loan. That would renovate the kitchen. That would probably send a kid to school. There's so many things. People are so tight with cash these days, and the little investment they are making, people have investment that take 20, 30 years to yield anything. This is something that they are putting in, and they're seeing the returns right away. So you know what people are going to do? So one of the advantages of having a broker is that they can sell over the counter, because the wealthy, they are not in a rush to buy like other people who are in a rush to buy. They don't mind. They say, well, you know what, I'm buying this for the next 20 years. I know where it's going. So you always have institutions will start buying as well. So people are going to get rid of their crypto just because they know they can do that and jump into whatever. So that's that. A broker can help, because your platforms, your what do you call it, exchanges, will limit how much you can draw a day. So say you have you see it really in bull run, right? They will say you can only pull out 20,000. You can only pull out a day. So somebody whose stuff has gone up so high, and you never know what the limits are going to be. What if the limit is $10,000 a day? Meanwhile, you have more there and you can't pull it out, and there are a lot of people who are on a salary, fixed income, and they've put a little bit that they have, taking some from their retirement fund and put into crypto, and now they're stuck. They can't pull their money out in a hurry. But when it's a broker, you can tell the broker, find me a buyer for this. I mean, I'll just sell my stuff, and they'll look for a buyer for you, and they'll sell. So that's it. And Caleb and Brown is the leading one in Australia. Australia has the most stringent banking and finance rules in the West, right? Among the Western economies, they have very stringent banking rules. And so America is going to have brokers. In the next year, you will see brokers coming up. Caleb and Brown may have a US office. They may have a Canada office. UK, completely zero. They can't operate in the UK. You can't have a Caleb and Brown in the UK account. So yeah, that's the way it goes, to be honest. I don't know if it makes sense to you. If you're just tuning in, thank you for joining. Welcome. I'm just here on briefly, and then gotta get back to work and do some admin things that are piling up that I have to take care of. Chris Yarwood. So what brings you here? Did you just get the? Are you still in here? Did you just get the notification? So yeah, Marco Aggie, it's not a bad idea. Yeah. Oh, you're from the UK, yes. So it's very difficult to get Caleb and Brown to use them in the UK. I don't think they're allowed there. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's like influencers. It's like if I tell you now, buy Decent Wallet or buy Ledger, right? It's because I have a link to Ledger. I am an affiliate of Ledger. I applied. They approved me, right? So, hey, my life, how you doing? God bless you. Thank you for joining. XRP World, how are you? Hey, I know many of you are probably working or in transit. It's midday, but I just wanted to jump on here and say a few things. My big thing is about having a conversation about whether we should be, doing more of brokers, or whether we should keep our crypto in our cold wallets. I want to say this. I'm going to do a video about it. I believe that. Did you know that when you have a cold wallet? Okay, my cold wallet is somewhere over there. When you have a cold wallet, right, like Ledger or Decent or Trezor, your crypto is not on there. If you lose the Ledger, if you lose the wallet, what you must not lose is the key phrases. Whether you have 12 or 24, you must not lose that. If you lose your key phrases, you are finished. Everything you have is gone. Understand blockchain, right? All your crypto is on the blockchain. It never leaves there. If you give me 500 XRP today, for example, and you move it, you transfer it to my hot wallet or my cold wallet, it never leaves the blockchain. It just moves from one address to the other. Just the same principle as email. Tantrum wallet are really good. The seed freight is integrated right into the chip, waterproof. I don't know what you're saying. It's not actually a storage device. All it is actually a digital key. Exactly, XRP World. You got it. It's a digital key. Blockchain with crypto is like email. It's all. I always teach people in my coaching classes this way. It's like again, guys, if you're just joining, please take a look at my book, see if you can download a copy, support the channel, use it to bless someone who's just coming in. There's coming a gold rush. The gold rush is coming. The new gold rush is coming. All right. And when that new gold rush comes, let me tell you what's going to happen. Many of your friends, many of your relatives will call you. They say, "Why didn't you tell me?" You say, "No, I told you, you are not listening." This is how you do. You give them the ebook. You say, "Go and read this. Go and read this." Right? That's how you can be a blessing to them, because it's a short ebook. And the purpose of the ebook is to take people from point A to Z, and they can confidently. The title is "How to Crypto Made Easy: How to Buy, Store, and Grow Your Investment with Confidence." So it's just, rather than them now going and taking a 4-year, 3-year journey to learn the things because there's no time for that, they can have this little document that takes them from point A to B. You will not have time to sit with all the 7 people in your family and friends and acquaintances who suddenly realize that if they don't buy this thing, they're going to have it. They'll be missing an opportunity, basically speaking. So at that point, you are looking at your asset at $45 a piece. So people can at least say, "Okay, you know what? I can get into it." Please like the video, get it up to 13 likes. People were expecting President Trump to make a big announcement yesterday about investment in crypto. I think he just chose not to. There's a summit already on Friday, so yeah, that will probably have infuriated his enemies the more. The Democrats don't like him, so I'm not saying that's why he didn't say it, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You're in Nova Scotia. I'm here in the middle of the country, buddy, expecting the tariffs to heat up. uh, Chris Yarwood, well, Chris, I pray that God will make a way for you, and that you won't have to have. Do you have are you do you renego are you able to renegotiate with them? My life. Yeah, you can refer them. That's good. If you remember, because you may be having such a good time, you may not even remember. That's the truth. They're not listening. People aren't interested. It's just exactly the same way, like what XRP World says. They just look at you like, honestly, it's like it goes right past them. They don't even want to consider it. Somebody told me that, well, you know what? It's fire. He said you are playing with fire. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not. They're not willing to even take a look. You see, I went to so one of our vehicles, well, actually two, the rear bumper and then the other one, the front bumper, need to be replaced. So I went to the guy who was going to do it, and I had purchased it by myself, and I went with my son, and it was folded in a box. It came on through Amazon, and he said, "Oh, you already have the thing." I said, "Yes," but he said, "How come it's in a box?" He said, I remember because the Lord remembered me. Amen. Yes, people want to fight you. I know. I know. So we it's folded and what it's plastic. So you use heat to straighten it out. Yes. Bogore. The title is Cold Wallets Are Still Important. Brokers are step two or plan B. Yes. Some people have been holding these digital assets for 10 years. 10 years. And there are some people who bought it, like when there was some ICOs, people bought Electronium at a high price. Yeah. So I don't trust anybody. I don't trust banks. I don't trust, the only person you can really trust is yourself because, anything can happen, right? So, but there are not that many brokers right now. Remember, it's a jungle. It's a jungle. It's not yet regulated. So people can do anything. But one of the reasons why, many of us use Caleb and Brown is because Australia has the most stringent of banking laws in the West. And so you can't do everything yourself. In this world, you have to give and take. You have to have people around you, right? That you can at least give a measure of trust to, you know. You build a rapport, you say, okay, guys, this is what I want to do. Here's my little investment in you here, I have X amount, but I'm giving you a little bit. So that's the way I look at it, right? This way you don't put everything out there and then have a problem later on, right? So yeah, they're really good. I've never had a problem with them. My wife has never had a problem with them. We use them. They're great. They are quick on the response. They are very professional. So that's it. But like I said, when people start saying, "Oh, you have to put everything with the broker," no, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I think it's proper to have, as things ease up, you would with regulations coming in properly, you would see in America brokers will start. There will be brokers and stuff like that. So there will be brokers in North America. Oh my goodness, it's hot in here. Real world acid or assets? What do you say in general? Green's Island project is good. They are doing real world asset tokenization. Yes, we're in the bankless revolution, whether we like it or not. XRP World, what do you do in Nova Scotia? Do you fish? Yeah, it's a bankless revolution. Actually, but there's a lot of battle going on. Real battle. Spiritual battle. You try to tell your father, and I thought he would listen to me, and that did not go very well. XRP World, how old are you? If you've not watched my recent video, I just put up a video this morning that has had about, let's see, what kind of views have we had so far. That video has done pretty good. It's gotten about 400 and almost 450 views so far, 59 likes, 31 comments in the last 5 hours and a half. So that's not bad because I have 2,300 subscribers. So Yeah, pray for them. That's true. You can't get everybody to do to ride with you, right? No. Yeah, have you watched? I put a video up this morning, and the title of the video, go watch it if you have some time. It's about 13 minutes. It's titled IS XRP and ISO crypto holders threatened. Talking about that's it right there. XRP and ISO crypto holders threatened. Billionaires turn against Trump's strategic reserve. You need a safe box that has all your cold wallets in it, an extra cell phone, an extra laptop, extra cables, and need to be EMP proof, waterproof. That's right. hmm I'm not too bothered about the waterproofing, but that's okay too. I agree, because if you have a way of, um, saving your seed phrases, if something happens to your your cold wallet, you can always get back in. But I agree, waterproofing is also good. I know. Yeah. No, no, no. It's not a tiny fishing village. I just know that there's some good tuna there. I was in Nova Scotia last year for a meeting. You know, we landed in Halifax and we drove, and that's probably my third time. We went all the way to Cape. What's it called? Oh my goodness, right by the ocean. Yeah, I was in the I was in the woods with a group of people, group of Christian leaders. Then I met a real fisherman, a proper fisher person. All right, you're young, man. Enjoy. No, no, I don't assume it's all that. I know there's, but I know there's some. I just respect like the guy I spoke to. He and his family have been there for generations, and he's the fourth in the line running the family fishing tradition. And his son is already working with him. In fact, his son was in a boat that came by us. His house was on the other side. You could see it on the island on the other side, where he lived. Yeah. Faraday bag in a fireproof safe. I mean, you could also have your key phrases in different places, right? So, did you hear about the influencer who um, spoke a lot about her stuff, and she got into trouble because some people came to, hey, Beatrice, how are you? How you doing? I'm just on break, and I'm using that to hop on here and then enjoying my coffee while talking to people. How did you find our chat? Was it good? Yeah, Beatrice, was that good? I was. You're ready for what, XRP World? Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. It was really awesome too. Like I said, I appreciate your encouragement since I started this channel, or since I started putting videos on my channel. My channel has been here since 2015. What a difference it makes, when you decide to actually put content out. Beatrice, I just put out a video this morning, and yeah, feel free to go watch it. Um, it will be my honor to have you guys. XRP and ISO crypto holders threatened. Billionaires turn against Trump's strategic reserve. I also, referenced an article by Forbes, and the main one that I really looked at is the article by MSN on MSN. So, Oh my goodness. So you've been in this for a while, XRP World. That's cool. Yes, there's a lot of stories like that. Remember that guy who threw away his computer and the garbage? He actually went and asked for Cape Breton. That's it. I was in Cape Breton. And we went all the way to the water. We stayed in a lodge built by a gentleman out of Texas. They came out there to build this lodge where they stay. So that's where they live. They're far into the woods, right? But the roads are so like tiny but well maintained. Like rough. They're quite old, but yeah. Hey, Abundance Grace, how are you? How's Germany? Guten Abend. Guten Abend. Did I say it right? Guten Abend. Oh, great. Exactly. Many ledgers would have burnt. But like I said, if your ledger gets burnt, as long as you have your seed phrase, that's why you do not, for any reason, lose your seed phrase. You have to have the seed phrase kept somewhere. Because if you buy a brand new ledger, right, it'll prompt you and it will say, what do you want to do? Set up a new ledger or restore a ledger. So one time I had a situation where I had to restore a wallet, but it wasn't a cold wallet, it was with my old phone. So I had a new phone, this one, and the old one is over there. I was having problems with it, fell and cracked. I was having some difficulties with it, some like not being able to, you know, press certain buttons. Hey Dad, I'll call you right back.
Okay, sir.
She actually posted that she had 20 million. Well, most of us don't have 20 million. Some people are just putting a few here and there just to be able to have something a little for retirement. Yes, Bogu Raid. I'm looking forward to that one too. I'm looking forward to that conference. I think it's going to be great. The crypto summit. Yeah, Donald Trump is a very, very unusual character. I'm telling you, the world will remember him for a long time to come. Like, he's very unusual. The things he sees, like he sees further down the road. You know how coming into a place and you look at the buildings, New York, like the buildings that he bought and renovated and built and all of that. So that thing is in him. He's very creative in looking at problems and looking at solutions that will even hurt. He said it that is going to hurt. What he's doing is going to hurt for a while. He said it's going to hurt for a while. You need those kind of leaders. You may not like him. I never liked Trump because I just felt that he talked anyhow. But what happened is that I realized that strong leaders. Trump is the Lee Kuan Yew of America. The only difference is that he's not in military uniform and he's not a dictator. If like so, but he knows he's a very I think skilled negotiator. People will not agree, but that's okay. We just have to agree to disagree. Because if you look at it, I put a post on X and some people yapping, and I said, "Hey, look, this is somebody you said will be dead. You wished cancer on him. You wished that he will be shot. Like the things you wished for actually happened, that he'll be prosecuted as a vile criminal, the worst scum of the earth. Like those kinds of description, right? The Hitler and everything. But he got back to being president. Like that is something that will go down in history as a great accomplishment. Like, come on, So it's very difficult for people to see that because once people are lost in their hatred for a person, it's very difficult. The Bible says hatred blinds. It's a blinder. And when you hate, you can't see, you know. Yeah, he didn't, but they don't care, right? Yeah, but I think XRP World, I think he got the city allowed him to go and dig the dump to see if he could find it. I don't know. Yeah, he said he's ready to spend money to find it, but who knows, right? Because really, the hard drive of that thing would have everything. It's an old computer. Hmm. Oh wow. They refuse to sell it to him. Those guys are mean, eh? Why not just sell it to him? Oh wow. Send me an email on that XRP World, and I'll share it with our community. I don't know about that. I've seen ads on that, but I mean, so if send me an email. My email is in there. Let me see if I can find it and just share it with you. Here's my email. Grab the uh grab the email. Just send me like info XRP World. I won't sell your information. Just say, hey, we're talking about this is that. So we can share it with everybody else, and people can learn and do things, right? So you have a lot of experience. I like that. I will be getting off of here in the next little while. I want to thank you all for coming on and just chatting. And I believe so. I researched this as far back as 2021, and I saw that the ESDR. But I think that will come later as because the idea, it is not adopting it as an ESDR that's really the jig. It is that it has to be it has to create the value first, in my opinion. That's where it's all going. Remember how the dollar was what they were using, right? Even though they have their own currency, the IMF have their own currency, ESDR. But um, from which these nations can, they have reserve drawing rights. But in the reality is that you got to have something that is really working, that is true, that is valuable, that makes sense, and that's where XRP is going. I think even the people, the open coin that became Ripple, they really do not have any idea how far it's going to go. They had the vision, but you know how you can have a vision to say, oh, I want to have franchises, but I'm going to have 20, only for it to go to 200. Most people who are successful sometimes don't really know how successful their idea was going to be at conception. They were just thinking of a brilliant idea. They found one. Sometimes people attribute it to God given, or they just think that they were smart, right? So I agree with you on that. It's not a question of agreeing. It's if I didn't know it, that's different. That could be people argue sometimes about these things because they don't know. But all the documentation has been there, everything. Look at all these people, Bank of International Settlements, like the big names, they've all looked at this thing and they have each, it's like giving a blessing. All the roads. I watched somebody who said that XRP is like, and in the olden days, people were riding their horses and then somebody trying to sell them a car and they say, no, we don't want a car. What are we going to do with it? Well, he says, no problem, that's fine. Then he gets somebody to come and help build roads. And then he gives a car or two to people, and the people are driving the cars around. And as people are going around in their horses, they go, oh, the cars come by them so fast. And they say, wow, it would be nice to have that. Their wives also want it. And the next thing you know, their kids also want to be in the back of that car, like the one they just saw going. Without having to say a word, what have they done? They've built the roads, they've put the cars that they were trying to sell in the first place, and then now the people want it. And that's exactly what it is. XRP has built the network. They've gotten all the contracts and agreements and non disclosure signed. It is time. Okay, are you a full time trader? XRP World. Are you a full time trader? Hello, Ogunaya Films. Bao ni Olu. Pele. Good to see you. I'll be jumping off soon. You know, it's 12:51 here, so I got on about half an hour ago. Wakba, that's good. So I was just, usually what I do is I walk, then I had to go quickly to a meeting, came back, and I just jumped on here to see what's going on. So my topic today was for this segment was cold wallets are still important, brokers are step 2. Brokers are step 2. Just saying that there's a conversation that is starting right now, and I watched a video. I'm not going to mention whose video I watched, but it's a very solid influencer, has over 100,000 subscribers, and they're talking about how brokers with their firewalls are the best thing ever. And while I agree that brokers are just a stakeholder in the entire industry, they are, because they have so much invested in Bitcoin. Michael Saylor, MicroStrategies. You remember, he didn't have audience with Trump. There's no picture where Michael Saylor and Trump are sitting together having dinner in Mar-a-Lago. Who did Trump have dinner with? He had dinner with Stuart Alderati and Brad Garlinghouse. Stuart Alderati is the chief legal advisor for Ripple. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes, Michael Saylor hated other cryptos. So they are mad at him because this is you watch the video in the morning. Yes, I think I remember seeing your comment there. They are mad at him because he's the one who is saying he wants to include other cryptos. But look at Saudi Arabia. They have what they call a sovereign wealth fund. Go and check that. The sovereign wealth fund for Saudi Arabia, do you know how much it's worth? And how much they have invested in the United States through the sovereign wealth fund? They have oil and gas, they have banking, they have gold, this is investment that they know that for the next 100 years, they are banking on for the next generation, right? So why should you just put Bitcoin only into the strategic reserve fund? And remember, Bitcoin's value is truly, the intrinsic value of Bitcoin is its inability to hold storage, to store in today's world. I'm not talking about 2013 or 2011 or 2012. I'm talking of Bitcoin today. Its value is not in any strategy, because you can't use Bitcoin to buy coffee, to buy this. They have to wrap it somehow with, in fact, the Lightning Network, all those things didn't really work because Bitcoin is old, clunky, and the cost of running the nodes to the computers to to mine Bitcoin is unbelievably expensive. And the World Economic Forum, like I said, not that I like their ideology of where they want humanity to go, but when it comes to all of these things, they talk about clean energy, right? Renewable resources and all of that stuff. XRP was pre-mined. If you look at all of the ISO cryptos, I think 65 to 70% of them are pre-mined. In fact, if not, most, like XDC, for example, still has a deficit, but close to the top. And so, like I don't see how. And it wasn't a mistake when Trump mentioned those ones. But what happened now? There was his phone must have been ringing. Why didn't you mention Bitcoin? What's going on here? There was a scream, and that's why 2 hours later he said, obviously. So again, Bitcoin will be there, but it is not the reality of the wealth that will be created from XRP and its value for tomorrow is is in what is created to do. If you look at the papers, the PDFs that were put together in 2017 and 2018 by the team that researched and compared XRP and Bitcoin, people don't even know that as far back as 2017, the two cryptos that were compared at that time by this working group, okay, was XRP and Bitcoin. Why do you think they did that? So Bitcoin, XRP is actually an improvement on Bitcoin. I put out a video once. You can go to my playlist and watch it. XRP is the king of crypto. And I said XLM is the prince. And some people didn't like it. They go, oh, no, no, no. XLM is, when people hold a crypto, they have this sentimental attachment to it and they say it's going to be the best. For me, XRP is not a sentiment. There is some, but that's not about it. Because if it's only sentiment, we're fooling ourselves. You got to research and see where it's going. And now Trump has bought a company, crypto, whatever, a crypto, what do you, a crypto exchange, right? He done some investment. This was Trump said at one time. He said he didn't in 2017, 2018. He said he didn't understand Bitcoin. He didn't understand it, but now he does, right? All the people who are saying Jamie Dimon and the BlackRock guy Larry Fink, they said Bitcoin was a pet rock, and they called it all kinds of names. Now they're all in it, right? So why do you think they are running in this direction? Well, because they don't want you to look at that direction. Remember, these people, the things they don't talk about are the things that are important. And why is the media? For me, remember, if you trust the media at this point, throughout COVID, you see what the media did to us. Throughout Trump's first term, you see what the media did to us. You see what they did in the election. You see how they side one over the other. You see what they have did. Now, look at Jim Cramer. Always everything he calls, go and buy this, go and buy this. 2 weeks later, that's what will crash. And 1 million people will run and go and put $1,000 each, $1,000 each, $1,000 each. Then they now are left with the bag. They hold it and hold it. It takes them 6 years to recover and get out. And get out with their investment with a little profit. But the people who made the profit were those who knew what was happening. Yet Jim Cramer has a job and is a top paid guy in CNBC. Is that what they call it, CNBC or so, whatever? Yeah. Go check his salary out. Nobody earns as close as what he does, what he makes. For giving out information, in my opinion, that is false or that leads to people losing, or because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So is he doing it knowingly? I don't know. Not financial advice. Do your own research. So yeah, XRP 10K, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it, So yeah, so that's why this is an opportunity, because somebody with some of us have only like 1,000 XRP, 2,000 XRP. That's all we could afford. How much do people make? By the time you get your salary, they tax the thing off it. It comes into your paycheck. My daughter started working now. She's her second year. Like, she was talking to me today. She's getting a second job. She's a graduate. She's paid what a graduate should be earning. But what she's earning right now, if it was 5 years ago, she doesn't need a second job. But she's like, okay, if I'm going to save and do things and all of that, then I need a second job to do some of the things I really want to do. Because she says, I just drive to work and come back, and then when they pay me, it's all gone. I buy gas. She has to drive about half an hour, 45 minutes actually in traffic to be able to get to work. If it's bad on a snowy day, it's almost 50. It's 50 or 60 minutes, and this is on the highway, on the city's highway, not going through city roads. It's on the perimeter. So you see what I'm saying? It's costly. Gas is going up. They're going to add, they're going to keep, like, inflation itself is there from COVID, coming from COVID, the money they printed and all of that. So the only way is to have an inflationary asset, something that will rise. You see, when the tide comes in, the small boats. So many of us who have invested in crypto assets have small boats. Small boats. You know what a small boat is, right? It's a paddle boat, a canoe. But when you go to the coast, sorry, when you go to the dock, right? You see where people have boats. You see a big yacht. One day, actually, I went and I saw, in Vancouver, you see the big yacht, beautiful thing. And people are pointing and looking and taking pictures. It's actually a multi-millionaire or billionaire who has brought that, yacht to it's visiting or the city or something of the sort. But around it, you see small boats, small boats. And when that tide comes in, when that water comes in, you see the boats going like this. It's like they're dancing. The smaller ones dance a little bit more. The water. But what happens is the water raises the level of all the boats, the big ones, the small ones, the yacht, the ship, all of them are there. And you just see everything will rise. When the tide comes in, everything rises. This is why we're trying to tell people, if all you can get is 200 XRP, you may need to wait longer than other people, but one day it'll be something that will be valuable, and it will help you move along. Some life-changing wealth that can help you. And because you have this, you are able to actually use it as collateral. I remember having stocks years ago. I was in my 30s. And those stocks were company stocks, the blue chip company stock at the time I had them. And they helped me even in my business, because I had a company, an engineering firm. We were doing building water systems. And sometimes I would get a job. If I got jobs that were not engineering jobs, I got jobs that were outside of engineering. You got to survive. You do different things. And sometimes you are not paid. You don't get an advance payment. You go do the job, then you are paid when you are done. And so a lot of times what I would do would be go to the bank. I had a small bank not far from my house, and I deposited the stock with them, and they would give me 50% of the value. Actually, they gave me 60% of the value of the stock that I gave to them. And when I finished the job, and most of the jobs were encapsulated. Can you imagine if my wife and I had never invested in those stocks? So that's why when I say your custody yourself is very important, it's number one. Because not your keys, not your crypto, is an old advice that will remain for the longest of time. Except if they outlaw people holding crypto by themselves. And I don't think that will happen. That can happen in a socialist system. That can happen in a Marxist system where they just want to take everybody's property. That's what they will do. So as long as you are able to remember, the people making the wallets, the people making all these things, it's all a business. Look at Ledger. Ledger is based in France. They've distributed these things nicely across among themselves. One of my students the other day sent me an email. Shout out to you, um, Kettle Basin. I don't want to say his name, Kettle Basin. I really appreciate you. Some of the people I've quoted, they are so amazing people, very, very appreciative. He sent me an email. He said, I want to say thank you for all that you shared with me. I mean, we didn't have a full coaching session. Just it was a brief conversation. It was good, and I shared what I knew with him. But we ended up spending more time together. And he actually bought his ledger, and he was so happy with it and everything like that. To me, this is the reality. If we have control over what we own, it's better, and then you can decide to take 20% of it. You can send 200 units of XRP or XLM or whatever to a broker and leave it there, and then leave the rest. If it's 1,000 you have, you say, okay, this is all I have. I can only buy a bit at a time. That's it. So you put it wherever you put it in your cold storage, and then you send a bit to a broker. And like I said, there will be more brokers in the next little while. There'll be more lawyers who are more knowledgeable about this area in the next little while. And that's what people like uh, Lewis Jackson. He's done a fantastic job. Like, he's been in it. Some of these guys have had their channel for about 5 years. Some of them I know when they had only 500 subscribers. So they've gone ahead and they've done something really amazing in preparing for the future, because it's an uncharted territory. So you need lawyers, you need planners, you need all kinds of people, particularly in the legal field, and then accountants also, to help you protect your assets as you go forward. Anyway, so Abundance Grace says, yes, 10K is highly possible. Yes. But like I said, we don't make blanket statements. If you are here and you are interested in, just go to my description. You will see that I have a video that is a private video that you can watch. You will need about an hour and a half to watch all of it. And I use it now as a training. There's two that I created, and then a third one was one of my lives. I pulled it into private. You would have to pay to go and watch it, but it will help you. What it does, it's going to give you a massive confidence about the future. It's not just me talking, it's me showing you why it gets to this amount, why it gets to this amount, why it gets to that amount. That's it. And so you will be saying, okay, I have only 500 units of this, I have 300 of this, that's all I have. Don't worry, that's all you could do. But there's a tide coming. And it will not matter if Elon has all the 1 trillion and somebody else has. It won't matter, because you can secure your future with your family in a new world where an apple costs way more than you could ever have imagined. It's coming. I don't know how they're going to do it and change, and so for grocery prices to come down. The only way, and that's one of the things that Trump is doing that is brilliant, and people can't see it. What he's trying to do, he knows pain is coming. There's no way, if you are indebted and you keep printing money. Do you know why the nation of the US, Canada, and some other countries, why it appears they're not feeling it? Is because they can always print money. You and I can't print money. Do you have a printing press? If you print money, you'll be caught. It's illegitimate. But they can print the money without goods and services to back it, without creating anything. They just print the money in the air. What happens is you flood the place with money, so inflation will definitely explode. So galloping inflation is coming. They've suppressed and suppressed and suppressed. Trump is a truth teller. He's a businessman. $36 trillion. They have just been hiding it with printing more money. So when costs are going up, well, they steal a lot of the money. It comes back to the politicians and everything, so they're able to spend more, and it just keeps going. But that's why banks are always failing in America, because they keep pushing kicking the count down the road. But by the time it finally explodes, the people who kick the can down the road, they have made 100 million from all those years that they were taking money out of the system. So they are able to land. That's why they get paid such huge salaries for destroying the system, because the system we are using it's not working. It's false. It's fake. Something has to change. And one of the brilliant ideas of this generation is crypto assets, digital assets. Just in the same way that I have written an ebook, put it together. Actually, I have a new ebook coming out. It's titled 21 Reasons Why You Must Pray. 21 Reasons Why You Must Pray. That's it. Actually, I wrote this book since 2016, but I just left it, and now I'm beginning to release all my books. 21 Reasons Why You Must Pray. So that's, again, listen, we are preparing for a future that, whether we like it or not, is coming. So why should I just sit down and watch? The house I live in, I know how much I paid for it. I look at the younger generation. How are they going to be able to afford homes? Something has to change. I want to say thank you for those who have bought my book so far. Some of you bought it not because you needed to buy another book on crypto. You didn't read any book to start crypto. People were asking me, is there a book? No, but I wrote it. I put it together, of course, for those who are trying to get in, those who are wondering how do I get into this area? How do I do it? Send me an email if you want. If you have any questions, if you want to fix a 15-minute free chat with me, I'm booked up till Saturday, and then early in the morning I take 15-minute calls. Late at night I take 15-minute calls. Most of the people who have called me know that sometimes I go above the 15 minutes. I don't want to be doing that, but if I enjoy the person's vibe, we just have a conversation, and then you can ask me any question. Just 2 questions. Somebody sent me 3 questions, but I'm only 2 because I only have 15 minutes, right? So I don't want to kind of abuse my time as well as the person's, yeah. But please be protective of that also. If you're, but I'm more, I like, if the vibe is good, sometimes I feel led, I'll just stay on there. So I want you to, yeah, go on my description. If you are new to the channel and you're just subscribing and you are interested in taking the training session to see how XRP moves from the price it is now. I don't want you to just hope. I don't just, because what is making people cry? Oh, the price is down again, it's down again, it's down again. I have given up on that. I don't bother about the price going up and down because it must go up and down. One, due to manipulation. Two, regulation is not in. Three, it's not yet adopted by mainline institutions. People are like, oh, but why is it, they can just buy for 30 cents. Why should they wait to buy it for? You have no understanding of what litigation is in America. America is the most litigious continent on the planet. Most litigious continent. Let me close today with saying this, because I have 4 minutes left. I have to be off of here after 1 hour. I have other things to do. Let me say this. See, I was talking about this stuff this morning of, oh man, just looking at what the news that came up today. Remember, we're talking about cold wallets and using brokers. So I think we've exhausted that. We've talked about that a bit. But just the reality of having some billionaires not happy with what is going on. This is the reality. Many of them have a lot of money in Bitcoin. They've hedged their bets that Bitcoin is going to go to 250,000 in the next cycle. They've calculated, they've seen everything. One thing nobody knows is people do not know that many people, including believers like you and I, sometimes we have no idea how God can move. The Bible says that, Ephesians 3:20 said that he will do exceedingly abundantly above what we can ever think or ask. And the Bible also says that fear not, little flock. For it is it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Fear not. Fear not. So there's a lot of moves going on right now. Because every time the government makes a budget, every time a new government is planning something, a new presidency, the wealthy already know where things are going to fall and they know how much they're going to make. In advance, they know I'm going to get 3 million from here. The people shipping in supplies based on the budget, shipping in things from Thailand, shipping in things from Vietnam, shipping from China, shipping from South Korea. They already know how much they're going to make. They just take a calculator, simple, 2 times 2 equals 4. This is the level they are operating on. It's not complicated, but because they have the power. So the government helps them. They get money from taxpayers. They get money from, I'm talking of legitimate business, not people shipping things. Now, all that is changing. So they have to guarantee their future. And now suddenly they hear, oh, Bitcoin that we thought was going to 250,000 a piece. Now it's not going to be in the strategic reserve. Come, what are you talking about? Well, it's not that it's not going to be there. Remember, the government seized Silk Road's billion, whatever. How much was that they took from the Silk Road thing that was seized? So definitely Bitcoin will be there. And that's what I see. I don't see how it won't be there. But for Bitcoiners to say, for Marxists to say, no, we don't want any other thing, that's never going to fly. It's never going to fly. Now, even if they don't use... He's a shame on Da Vinci. You are so yeah. I didn't even watch his video, but I don't know what he said. Send anything to me you have on him on my WhatsApp. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. It's a new day, it's a new dawn. Something great is about to come. And they have no choice, but it's coming. And even if XRP was not in the strategic reserve and the ISOs, they are going to appreciate based on adoption alone, because they are all scalable assets. And the strategic reserve is not what makes their price go up. Sorry. The strategic reserve is depending on them going up by their utility. Meanwhile, Bitcoin they are depending on Bitcoin going up by Jim Cramer telling you Bitcoin is going to go up, Bitcoin is going to go up, and then people, oh, Bitcoin. And then somebody who just got a bonus of $2,000 in the Christmas bonus, 2,000, say, you know what, sweetheart, what do we do? Oh, I think they say Bitcoin is very good because they just watched it on CNN. So they are, okay, how do we get it? So they go and buy Bitcoin. It's $90,000. So they buy a portion of Bitcoin and they are hoping that one day it will be 1 million. When will that be? They will be dead and rotting in the ground by the time Bitcoin gets to $1 million per one. Maybe, maybe not. But what if they took that 2,000 and they put it in Electronium, some in XLM, and a little bit in XRP? They spread that like that. And then maybe they put $50 in Shiba Inu. Oh, one day they just see that, you know what, their little $2,000 has become X amount, 250,000. They never thought it would get there. They take that and they put it in the bank and they say, this is what we have. Well, can we borrow $50,000 from that and renovate our house, make a room in the basement and rent, because rents are going to go up? Now they've paid down their mortgage. You see how 250,000 can change the life of a retiree. So they split the house into two. They live on one side, their children are now gone, and they can be earning $2,500 free. Like, think about it. And then they can take a portion of that they have and put it into loans, and they, to lend to somebody, an organization, and they'll be getting something back for like, there's so many options that will come. You'll be amazed. You see the way we shop, and they give us something for, like, you go and shop at the grocery store. They say, oh, you shop 250, here's $50, $10 worth of groceries in addition. Oh, go and get a box of oranges. That's what we're giving out today. In the same way, this crypto is going to create so many opportunities. Now, as I say that, let me say this. For those of you who are Christians, those who are believers, this is all going towards the end of the age with one spirit at work, which is this Antichrist. But you have to understand. I put a video at 6 o'clock. You'll see it. I recorded it about a week ago, but I released it today. One of them is God interested in crypto? That one will be on Friday. This one tonight at 6 is the title is XRP and ISO crypto, the Antichrist money. So I will explain there that everything is, the Antichrist would use everything. Evil uses everything. Satan's agenda is to use everything. That is why the devil went to Jesus Christ, said, if you will bow down and worship me, I will give you all of this. Because he looks for the power centers: America, Egypt, Babylon, the power centers in history, Libya, Cush, the power centers in Assyria, all the kingdoms, Dedan, all of these things you see in the Bible that are mentioned, those power centers, Ephesus, Corinth, the power centers must have demonic entities that control them. The Bible talks about Paul talks about the beast of Ephesus, right? So this is what we are warring against. That's why we have to have fasting and prayer, because the Bible says this kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting. What kind is it? If you look at Matthew 17, it is the kind that holds somebody down, choke your neck and with poverty. It is the Pharaoh spirit. He said this kind does not go out except by fasting and prayer. You see, and Moses was a fasting and prayer warrior. If you see, the Bible says he went to the backside of the desert. You don't do that if you are not somebody who is fasting. He was seeking something, and that's when the flame appeared in the bush and the Lord in the shrub, and God spoke to him out of the center of that bush and commissioned him to go to Egypt and get his people out. All these prophets you are seeing on YouTube, people insult them, they say all kinds of things about them, about me too, and all of that. Listen. It has been like that from the beginning. When people are speaking out what God has told them, there are false ones out there, but there are true ones who are hearing from God, who are minding their own business, going to sleep at night. They've probably had a pot of porridge. They are not praying about anything, and the Lord will interrupt their sleep with a major announcement of what is coming. And they hold it in for a year. They can't say it because they don't know what people will say. And God says, if you don't say it, I will deal with you, because they are vessels unto honor. And then they declare it. And still people will stone them, because that is the nature of the human heart. Because the heart is desperately wicked. The Bible says the heart of man, who can know it, is desperately wicked. He said they will stone the prophets. That's what you are seeing happening. But there are those of us who have learned that the Lord led his people and sustained them by the voice of a prophet. Say, believe in the Lord your God and you shall be established. Believe his prophets and you prosper. Don't just believe the prophetic voice just like that. Test it. What do you know? One of the ways to test the prophetic voice? Research. When I hear a prophecy, I research. I ask God, lead me, because the prophecies is for us to war a good warfare. When you are praying, Take up the prophecy. Pray for your investment. Ask God. All those eyes that are going around looking for people's computer to steal their assets, ask the Lord to puncture their eyes that they may not see. And when I say puncture, I mean spiritually. And so they don't see you. Friends, you need to understand that God can position angels to guard an asset for you, position angels to guard property for you. We're trying to buy a house some years ago. It was in 2006. And I remember it was June and houses were flying left, right, and center. The house we wanted had a double garage. It was a side by side. When we got there, I found out the Lord spoke to me at 6 o'clock in the morning. He said, you will buy that asset. And he will buy that property. He gave me the name, the address. He said, you will buy number. I had seen the house with a realtor. Do you know what happened? Everybody who saw that house they didn't care about it. They just left. They just moved away. And the Lord granted me a vision. And he said, I have posted an angel there. I saw. It was telling people, look that way. But they didn't know. Don't look here, look that way. Go past. And the house was preserved for us. The day we were going to buy it, we're going to sign the papers. The owner dropped the price. He told the realtor, I am not seeing any buyers. What if we take so much off? I'm not going to mention figures, but he took a very good, hefty sum off. It was about almost 10% off of the price of the house. You know what? That's a good chunk. It's good when you turn the key into a new property that there's already money on that key. There's money on the table already. It's like a turbocharge of an engine. When you are entering the house, you already have money. If you go to the bank looks at the house, they look at the area, it's a nice area, they look at the value, they look at what you pay, they say, oh, when your banker is telling you, oh, this is good, this is good. He said you can furnish everything. You can, you know what, we'll give you X amount of dollars furniture. Oh, do you want to change your fridge? They are the ones. Or you want to take a vacation? I tell them, I'm not taking a vacation. Leave me alone. Let me go and let me double the money first before I take a vacation. Well, I want to say thank you for joining me. It is past 1:20 here, and I got to get to some things, and I will see you guys later. God bless you. Bye-bye.